Hey guys, in this series I'll share with you 8 signature techniques that John Mayer uses when he's improvising as a lead guitarist. You'll learn how he weaves all of these approaches into one fluid solo on the classic Grateful Dead tune, Brown Eyed Women. I've broken this solo up into 8 separate licks and each one focuses on one core approach. In this series you'll learn the hybrid major blues scale, the quadruple 32nd note slide, the major 7th pedal steel box, the pre-bend pull-off, the one finger root bend, harmonized sixths, the triple position shift, and the passing diminished chord. Let's take a look at a performance of this solo and then we'll dive right into the lesson. Before we move on to lick number 1, let's take a quick look at the chords that we're working with. The solo section uses the same chords as the verse of the song. If any of these chords look unfamiliar to you, I've made a 2-part lesson on how to play John Mayer's rhythm part on this channel. There's a link to that playlist in the description. This song and this section of the solo is in the key of E major. Let's take a look at our first lick. I'll play it slowly. Let's try it one more time slow. For this lick, Mayer is mixing 2 scales. He is mixing the E major scale with the E major blues scale into one scale that I call the E major hybrid blues scale. Let's play each of these in the same position that he's using here. Let's start with the E major scale in the G position. Our root is right here, on the 12th fret of the E string. Let's try our E major blues scale in the G position. Root is in the same place. Here's what we have when we combine both of those into one new scale. This is a great scale to use in situations when you're improvising within a major scale and you want to add a bit of spice to it. For example, let's talk about the mechanics of lick number 1. We've got some full step bends, then he pre-bends and pulls off. Then we have some phrases using our E major hybrid blues scale. And he ends this lick with the classic Jerryism, the triplet pull-off. Let's play lick number 1 slowly. are with lick number 2, which features an absolutely ridiculous 4-note 30-second slide. I'll play these 2 bars for you slowly. One more time. Most of the notes over the B chord are coming out of the B7 arpeggio in the C shape. Let's play through that. He starts off with this lick targeting the 7th of B. Right there. Then he does a bluesy little slide from the minor third to the major third. And then we have our 4-note slide. So what happens is he lands right there, takes his hand off really quickly, plants it right here, slides back down, and pulls off. And here's our root B right there. At tempo, it's really quite challenging. So don't worry if this technique is not easy at first. Out of every technique in this series, this one might be the toughest, but it's worth it, and you can use it on slower tempo, and you can use this lick over any major chord because your root is right here. He lands on the root, so there's our root right there. So if we wanted to play it in A, right there's our root. If we wanted to play it in G, here's our root. And of course, since we're in B here for this lick, he plays it in B. For the rest of this lick, Mayer mixes chord tones of whatever scale he's in with the parent major scale of the progression. So over the B chord, he mixes notes of the B arpeggio with notes of the E major scale, and over the A chord, he mixes notes of the A arpeggio with notes of the E major scale. So we've got E major scale, connects that to the E shape of B. And then he goes to the E shape of A. So all of that is just right out of the E major scale. There's one more tidbit that I want to share with you about lick 2. To get from lick 1 to lick 2, Mayer plays the 3rd of E and connects it to the 7th of B. Right there. Now that might not sound impressive, but this kind of improvised chord tone connection is a hallmark of many of the great jazz, blues, bluegrass, and country guitar players. Connecting chord tones like the 3rds and 7ths and 9ths between chords is also a core fundamental of bebop. And it's just really interesting to see this kind of movement in his solos. Let's play lick 2, and then we'll put licks 1 and 2 together. One more time. Let's play licks 1 and 2 together. One more time.